Hi everyone, it's Tara here with Create Life Paper Words, and today I'm doing another Instagram inspired, which is a collaboration with Sweet Girl Designs. We are using the Anne collection by Brandy Kincaid, which is found on her website, The Shiny Bits. I ended up using, for all of my journal cards and filler cards, I ended up using the Anne collection. I felt it went really well with the fall colors that I had, and I'm actually jumping ahead a few weeks in my family's Project Life album so that I could use the photos with this kit that I got from the Shiny Bits. So I really loved the oranges in it, and those are the colors that I bring in. I also bring in a lot of gold because I find that the gold goes really nice with the mustard yellow and the orange that are in the colors that are in the kit. I ended up doing a label over this. It was just shopping carts and cars in the background, and I did a tiny bit of journaling. You'll see in just a little bit that I end up changing my mind, and I actually redo that whole part. Thankfully, I had another photo. Originally, I was going to do a scrapbook page with this same photo, but because I've reused it, I've used the other one that I had printed off, I probably won't be doing that, but that is okay. I wanted to bring a bit more gold in, so I used my Heidi Shine, and I just sprinkled it onto there, and then I'm letting that dry, and I'm going to bring in more of the thickers. I have 3 different sets of gold thickers that I'm using. That's mainly because I don't have enough letters in each set to make full words, or not necessarily full words, but as you'll find for this one, I was able to do color, but I wasn't able to do love, so I ended up using a different set for that. And when I was pulling out all the different things I thought I might want to use, I knew that there wasn't going to be enough letters, that I was going to need a couple sets with that. I think these sets with my gold thickers are almost done though. This photo right here was one that I printed as a 3x4. It's just of my kids playing at this tree by our house, and it wasn't really fitting anywhere else, and I wanted to use all the journaling and filler cards that I have laid out, so I decided to cut it a little bit and add it onto this leaf page, which goes really well because it's a photo of a tree and leaves, so it sort of worked really nicely together. I'm using some more thickers, and I ended up cutting one so that I could make an E with it, and same I believe for the I, and for the M I took a W and turned it upside down, and again I needed to do an E, so really sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel with all of these letters just to make words out of them. So I have tea time, which is in regards to the photo to the right where I am watching a Netflix show and having a cup of tea. It was actually a really nice day out, but it was cool in the house when we woke up, and so I just decided we were going to do some inside TV watching and that kind of stuff for the morning. I decided I wanted to bring some washi in, so I'm just trying to find a color that matches one of these colors here. I end up going with a pink one, so I'm bringing a bit more pink into the layout where there wasn't really very much pink before other than in the little tiny details. So I'm going to bring that in 3 spots, so that top Starbucks cup card, and then this bottom one where it says I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers, and then this very top one up here, attempting to make a V or a triangle so that your eye moves around the page. I then decide to go and do some stamping. I haven't done much stamping for the last few weeks that I've done. And so I was noticing that the other day when I was looking through some of my Project Life pages and decided I needed to bring stamps out for this one. I originally start stamping that card with the rocks and leaves in gold, and you can't see it at all. It completely blends in. So I think, well, maybe I'll try stamping the gold onto a green label. Still can't see it. The green is just a little bit too dark, so I end up stamping it with black and then adhering the label on top of where I'd stamped it in gold already. And then that works a little bit better. I think what I should have originally done was just stamped in black straight away, and that would have had the effect that I'd preferred to have. And then I decided to just do a little bit of outlining around that one card. I don't want to do any other details other than that. And this is where I go back to that very first card or very first photo that I worked on. And I started putting some more stamps on it because I remembered I had some stamps from Kelly Stamps that would go really well with it. And that just wasn't really doing what I wanted it to, so I just decided to start all over. I've already got the ones that I want. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to put them. Again, I still wanted to cover off those carts and cars that were in the background of the photo, hence why I've got the label there. And then I'm just building a line of stamps going down. And I believe when it says Workout Wednesday, and it was Wednesday. And then I've got a yoga mat, I believe, and then it says yoga o'clock, and I think, oh, and then it says the best. That's right. So we had done a really great yoga class in the city that night, and it was really, really nice to have some girl time, which seems like it's been absolutely forever since I've got to go out with some friends. And then we ended up, as we were driving back into the town we live in, we saw a friend's vehicle. She was working, so we stopped in quickly to say hi, and we ended up staying for a long time. Well, after we probably should have. And I felt very old the next day when I got up, and I felt very, very, very tired. So lesson learned, don't stay out that late again, I guess. But it was such a great night. It was a really, really nice night. I decided to use this little latte card just sort of to bring in more of the, I guess not really bring in, but just echoing what I've got going on in the top row. And also below with the T, which will be to the left of this filler card. And so I ended up stamping on white with black, and then I used one of my markers to just edge around the little circle there, cut that circle out so it's in orange, and then adhered that. And then what I'm also going to do is add one of these cork circles, and then on top of the cork circle I'm actually going to add a purple enamel dot. I just wanted to bring some more colors in, and I wanted it to not just be the white and black. And after doing that, I'm still waiting. I've got a doily that I want. You probably saw me spritzing it. I'm going to put that under that coffee cup filler card. But while I'm waiting for it to dry, I just dug out some of these little cork pieces. So there's some stars, and I also have some hearts. And then I am just using my tiny attacher to staple those down. It is still my absolute favorite tool that I have. And then I decided to do some rearranging. I wanted this card, I'm going to do some journaling about my daughter. So I wanted that card directly beside her. And still happy with how it looks. Just doing some rearranging was all. Put that little enamel dot down, and then I'm just trying to decide. I feel like this card or this photo of my daughter needs something more. When I was doing some scrapbooking last week, I found all these things that I didn't realize I had. I had the whole Hazelwood collection from last fall and never used it because I'm not really sure why I never used it. But then my colors just never fit with the season and everything. So I dug them all out, and I think I've used about half the whole collection, but I loved this little acetate with the gold foil on it, and I can't think of what it says right now, but it sort of went perfectly with my daughter and that photo right there. And I think this is finally almost dry, and I just grabbed my heat gun just to finish drying it because I just don't have the patience to wait for it. It was pretty heavy in spots where I'd spritzed it, and I think that's what took so long with it. So I'm just going to attach that and do a little bit of trimming, and then attach my little coffee cup mug, or for me, a tea mug, because I don't really like coffee at all. And I decided I want to keep the doily, so I attach it to this card down here, or this photo down here. I keep saying card. What I originally wanted to do was do a 12 by 12 of that photo with the blue sky and the trees. And when I went to order it for printing at London Drugs, it was going to be $15 to print a 12 by 12, and I thought they used to be about $6. So I went, yeah, that's not happening. I'm gonna have to find a different place to print that's a little bit cheaper for 12 by 12s, because I do love to do a 12 by 12 photo. I think it is just so pretty. Yeah, so if anyone in Canada has any suggestions for a cheaper place to print than London Drugs for 12 by 12s, I am all ears. Please let me know. So that was a little disappointing, but you know what? It worked out really well anyways. I absolutely love that photo right there. I just laid down in the middle of the park and pointed straight up. That one is unedited and everything, so... And there you go. That is my finished layout. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I love the colors of it, and I really absolutely love the Anne collection by Brandy Kincaid. So thank you, Brandy, for such a great collection. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Create Life Paper Words, and I really encourage you to go check out Christy's video. I will link it below. She also used the exact same Anne collection and I'm pretty sure she did a Project Life layout for it as well. So thank you again, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.